Yeah, hopefully we should be back now and working as normal. I seem to have lost the stream there for a minute. Yeah, the next tune, Low Bridge Ahead. Unusual title, but there's a very low bridge very close to where I live. And this bridge has claimed the top of lorries on countless occasions. Even though there are big signs saying low bridge and everything, you frequently get a lorry going through and forgetting about the height of the bridge, and it just whoosh, across the top of the bridge. Anyway, so I think this must have happened recently when I was thinking about a title for this tune. So this is Low Bridge Ahead, and in fact this one is included on my very last album that I put out, the one with about 5 or 6 tracks on. So I'll play this one. Low Bridge Ahead. Here we go. Yeah, low bridge ahead. I'm just going to catch up on one or two of your comments now. Now, Yusuf, you're having problems finding the notes. Yeah, I have a suggestion. When I was first learning the fiddle, I listened to so much music over and over, and I would put my headphones on and I would get the violin out or the fiddle out and I would try my hardest to play along. Now, because I was playing an acoustic violin, I could hear what the fiddle player was playing through the headphones, but I could also hear my acoustic violin because there was enough volume coming through the headphones. And I tried my hardest and I played over and over and over. And eventually you start to find one or two notes are the same as what the person is playing. And gradually over a period of time, you start to become accustomed to certain phrases that fiddle players use an awful lot. There are definitely, it's rather like guitar players when they practice riffs. If you've seen any guitar playing YouTube videos, they'll teach you about playing a certain riff, a certain sequence of notes. Well, fiddle playing's rather similar. It's basically very simple. Most fiddle tunes are very simple. They're either 32 bars or measures or 48 measures. They're not very complicated. The timings might be a bit fiddly, like 9/8 perhaps and 6/8. But generally most fiddle tunes are fairly simple. And then you kind of play along with them. You play along over and over. And it does take a lot of, quite a lot of practice time. I'm afraid it doesn't happen immediately, but slowly you start to develop finding where your fingers should go, and that's very much the process I use because I'm self-taught and I never went had lessons or anything like that. So consequently I kind of listened, and once I listened and over, I kind of played along, and I found that helped. So I hope that's of help to you, Yusuf. Yeah, AJ, Mechanical, you talk about Cape Breton. I love Cape Breton fiddle music. I mean, Natalie McMaster, Jerry Holland, so many great fiddle players from that part of the world. Many of the tunes they play are Irish tunes, but they play them in their own unique style, which is quite different to how you hear them played in Ireland. If you go to Ireland, there are, depending on what region of Ireland you're in, you'll hear different styles of playing Irish fiddle tunes. But if you go across to Cape Breton and listen to the Cape Breton fiddle players, they play it in a far more sort of kind of, how can I explain it? In a more robust kind of way. There's a distinct style that Cape Breton players use to play their tunes. And of course they use the foot. The foot is essential. The foot tapping is absolutely essential with that style of music, and I guess it fits in with the style of dancing which you imagine you might see. So that's very different from where I come from, because of course with me I'm quite close to Liverpool, and there's a very strong Irish community. Plus, I'm very close to Manchester. Once again, I've played with some Irish community, a lot of Irish fiddle players over the years from Manchester, and that's kind of influenced my style. So I find it more comfortable to work within that style rather than playing Cape Breton, because it would probably be quite bad if I started to emulate Jerry Holland. I would love to, but yeah, I mean, people like Natalie McMaster and so on, there's so many good Cape Breton fiddle players, so I kind of leave it to the experts, as it were. Hiya, Sally. Good evening from Trowbridge. Was it Trowbridge? Simon, yeah. Good evening. King of the Fairies, yeah. Whoopsie daisy. I don't have a backing track for that, but I can play it straight off. I wonder if there's just a little bit too much reverb on that. Let's try. The King of the Fairies. I played that at 2 tempos on purpose. The first time was slightly slower because I think it's a more haunting tune played at that speed, and then I just picked up the pace slightly the second time round because that's the way a lot of people seem to enjoy listening to that tune. So I'm never quite sure what tempo to put that tune. I suppose the way I play it now is not too bad because I kind of start off slow and then pick up tempo as I go along. So it's not too bad. I first heard that played by Dave Swarbrick, fantastic English fiddle player, played loads of music, very influential fiddle player, sadly no longer with us, but it was his version I kind of modelled my version on. So thank you, Dave, wherever you are, if you're listening. Yeah, what else have we got? Now, I fancy playing this one because this particular tune is called Moondog, and it's a bit different from what I normally play. I really like a classical tune. Now that was how the tune was originally composed. I was having a practice one day because, you know, we all have to practice, don't we? No matter what stage of fiddle playing we're at, we still have to pick up the fiddle because of pure enjoyment, really. I must admit, I like to do a bit of exercise in the morning and then I go and grab a fiddle. I'm quite lucky these days. I'm retired, so I don't have to go out to work at 6:30 in the morning. But a tune like that just kind of came to me one morning and I thought, well, that's wonderful. Then I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I jazzed it up a little bit? So this is the result. This is Moondog. Hopefully this will play fine. There we go. Oh, yeah. He's fluffed it again. I don't know. My apologies. You see, I'm used to working with real musicians. This is the trouble. I'll catch up with this again. But try one more time. So that was a tune called Moondog, which I must admit I do enjoy playing because it's got quite a swing to it. And I think that's another thing about tunes. They can be played straight or they can be played with a little bit of swing. And it really depends on the other musicians that you're playing with. Because if you've got a guitar player or a drummer or a bassist who's into their jazz and swinging along, quite naturally that rubs off on you as a player. So you might originally compose a tune like that in a straight manner, as I played it originally. But then, as the other musicians start to play, they'll gradually start to swing things along. So you've got to go with it. You've got to go with the flow, basically. And that's rather a nice thing, because when you're working with other musicians, creative things do happen. So that's rather pleasant. And that's how that tune got a bit sort of more swingy in a way, because that's the way it went. Now the Gale, yes, I do know the Gale. I've played that one so many times, But I'm not going to play it this evening because what happens is YouTube will immediately not ban me, but they will hit me for a copyright strike. This happens when any of the tunes that are, shall we say, recorded by big artists. This is Dougie MacLean wrote the tune The Gale, and of course Dougie played it for the tune The Last of the Mohicans at the very end. And it's then been covered by countless other musicians on YouTube. But as soon as I do that, YouTube will strike me and say, oh, copyright strike, and it will affect my channel. So I don't want to play The Gale. I have played it on my Patreon website and done lessons and everything about it. But copyright, it got struck immediately. And obviously, fair dues to Dougie MacLean. He composed the tune and he takes, I presume, the lion's share, or his publishing company probably do. I doubt that Dougie will. But anyway, so I won't play that this evening. I'd rather stick to tunes that are of my own composition, because then I won't hit any problems with copyright strikes. There is one tune that I really like that sounds quite traditional. It's called Jolly Roger. That one. I'm not sure. I think this is one tune that might have been put on the session website, and somebody accused me. They said, you've put your own tune on there. I thought, no, I haven't. Honest. I never put my tunes anywhere other than on YouTube and Patreon. But anyway, Jolly Roger. It's got a real rocky backing track, this one. So if you like a bit of rock, this might appeal to you. Jolly Roger. Well, Jolly Roger ran away a bit there, didn't he? I kind of lost that one a bit. Yeah, the joy of playing with backing tracks. Mind you, I can't complain because all of these backing tracks I make myself, so I've only myself to blame for that. This is a popular tune, Sandy River Belle. I'll play this one. This is a lovely, I don't know if it's bluegrass or it's old time or what, but it's a lovely tune. I think it's old time, but it's got a cracking melody to it. Sandy River Belle. 3, 4. Sandy River Belle. Now the interesting thing about that tune is I got that originally by looking through the Fiddler's Fake book. I wonder if you've heard of that book of tunes, the Fiddler's Fake book. There are loads and loads of melodies in there, and with that particular tune I just came across it. I was just flicking through and I came across this tune, and I'm a big fan of John Hartford. God bless him. I hope he's looking down this evening as well. John Hartford. And I always remember John telling these stories. I haven't met John, of course. I've heard so many of his recordings and him talking. And he was talking about how he used to drive this paddle steamer or pilot the paddle steamers up and down the river. And that I saw that Sandy River Belle, and I thought straight away it's got to be one of those paddle steamers. And so I started to play it and I started to learn it. And that's my version. That's how it came out. Now, since then, I've seen other versions on YouTube by old-time musicians playing it a lot quicker. And it's an exciting melody, really is, played a lot faster. And I was tinkering around the other day. I've got one of these things. This is a good time 5-string banjo. I'm a keen banjo fan, as you probably realise. And yeah, so I've started to learn that, and I'm starting to play that one a bit quicker now on the banjo and the fiddle, because I've heard these recordings of people playing the tune a lot faster, and I rather like it. So maybe that's the tempo it should be played at. I don't know, but it's interesting nevertheless. And I think also talking about John Hartford's interesting as well, because what a fantastic musician. The way his music, his fiddle tunes as well, so good. I've got so many of his recordings. So there we go. The butterfly, yes, certainly. The butterfly is a slip jig in 9/8 timing. And if you listen to the Irish fiddle player, I'm just trying to think of his name, who did, I think he did an album called The Liffey Banks, Tommy Potts. Evidently Tommy Potts wrote this tune. He plays it totally differently to how you hear everybody else play it. If you get a chance, listen to Tommy Potts. He does it on, he's on Spotify and various places. Of course, he's in that great Session in the Sky now as well. But Tommy Potts evidently wrote this tune, excuse me, and he plays it totally differently. But I'm going to play it rather different from Tommy. This is my version. The butterfly fluttering away. If that doesn't get a YouTube strike, nothing will. But anyway, if you're listening back to this live stream right now and you wonder why there's a blank bit there, it's because it has to be deleted because of a YouTube strike. But maybe not, who knows? Sometimes it gets through, sometimes it doesn't. Right. Old Trevor. Yeah, old Trevor. That one I'll keep for another time. I love Old Trevor, of course, and I love the tune, but I think it's great when I can put a bit of backing on that one because it's a Cajun tune and it needs it. It needs those drums, it needs that bass guitar. I've got a drum kit over here that I use. It's one of these electronic gizmos and it kind of works really well. And I'm a big keen user of MIDI. I use MIDI a lot, and I have various drum kits on these different synthesizers. So although the drum kit isn't particularly wonderful on the Oasis, I can feed that through to the Yamaha and get a really good drum sound on there. I can usually get some interesting drums as well. Most of these synths had drums. The D50 doesn't, but the M1 does. Some of them do and some don't. And then I've got some small rack synthesizers that have got quite good drum kits. So in other words, they work through there. And I can make a backing track, you see. I've got my bass guitar kicking about somewhere. That's hanging on the wall. So I can make a backing track. So I quite like to make a backing track to make it sound more lively. Thank you, Giorgio. So you played the butterfly in unison. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, the gathering. Yep. Okay, I'll add that one to the list as well. Do you know, I've composed so many tunes that sometimes they drop off the edge. That's my worst thing, remembering everything. So I have to write everything down in ABC notation, would you believe? Now I'll give you a little clue. Look at this. This is my way of remembering stuff. I write everything out in ABC notation. I taught myself to read music, so it's quite easy when you use ABC. It works a treat, and that's what I use to remind myself. But then once the tune, I've started to play the tune, usually I can remember them. Now this tune you won't have heard before. This was one that I put out privately on the Patreon website, but I thought it'd be nice to share it with you tonight. This one's called Scooting Time. It's got a nice melody, so we'll give it a whirl. Now, you may not have heard that one before unless you're on my Patreon site. I composed that one, let me see. Yeah, I think about January this year. It's called Scooting Time. And it's because there are so many of these people on scooters shooting up and down. You see them all over the place. You're walking in the park and then somebody comes past you at 50 miles an hour, some young lad or some young lady. It's usually a young lad though, doing about 50 miles an hour on these electric scooters. And I'm so envious. They look like so much fun, but of course they can be a bit dangerous. Anyway, so that's where the title for this tune came from, Scooting Time. So there you go. Yeah, I'll just catch up on a few comments again now. Oh, yeah, don't worry, Chibi, because, is it Chibi? I think it is. Don't worry, you know, the fact that you can just join us for a short while is wonderful. Smoke on the Water. Smoke on the Water, yeah, God, that takes me back. Deep Purple. Is that this one? Is it this one? I think that's Smoke on the Water, or is it something else? There are so many iconic tunes like that from that period in time that, yeah, I was brought up on some of those tunes. The name is Scouting Time, all right. Oh no, it was called Scooting Time, SCOOTING. That's how I pronounce it anyway. Scooting Time, like on a scooter. I did play the King of the Fairies earlier on actually, so I might move on from the King at the moment. On the gin again, Peak. Yeah, probably, but I'm not drinking gin. This stuff is pure Peak District water, I can assure you. Nice and clear and clean. Peak District water, because we get so much of it. It's usually raining outside. Yeah. I have played a lot of fun enough, Pink Floyd. There was one guitar player I played with, a nice chap. He's a bit of a rocker. Yeah, he's a motorbike person. He likes Pink Floyd, so we end up doing a bit of a skit in a gig, sometimes in a ceilidh, and it's very strange. You start playing deep Pink Floyd, or Deep Purple in fact, in a gig when you're supposed to be doing a nice ceilidh, an English country dance ceilidh. Everybody's looking at you, but actually people will react, because I think a lot of people in this country, they were brought up on rock and roll and you know, rock music, so it always goes down well, usually. Gary Owen, yeah. Yeah, I know Gary Owen, if I could just remember the melody. Yeah, this is the problem I have remembering. This is why I wrote everything down, because I'm going to try and play a tune here. I wonder if we've got, if my friend Shetland Bill is watching this evening. I know he's suddenly got onto Facebook. He might be watching, I don't know. But this is a tune I wrote in his memory, because we used to play a lot of Shetland tunes, because he's from that part of the world and he lives in this area now, and we sometimes meet up in sessions, and we used to regularly before COVID hit, and we would always play these Shetland tunes, and Anyway, this is written like a Shetland tune, or what I think sounds like a Shetland tune. It's called Shetland Bill, and I dedicated this one to my pal Bill, my fiddle playing friend. Yeah, might have slipped a beat there, who knows. That's a tune called Shetland Bill. Now, I must say, if anybody happens to be watching this on Twitch, which is a funny name, isn't it, to be honest, but Twitch, I'm also streaming this on Twitch as well as YouTube. And YouTube's very straightforward. I understand YouTube now. I've been on it for a fair old few years. And so doing live streams makes kind of sense. You can see pretty much what you're doing and everything else. But Twitch is a bit of an unknown quantity for me, because on Twitch they say, oh, unless you've got so many people following you, we aren't going to do this, that and the other. I don't fully understand it. The only reason I went on to Twitch is because my pal Mark Knight, the Mad Fiddler, who does the chip tune music, he's called TDK. He's a fantastic violinist, by the way, fantastic composer as well, and he does all sorts, writes wonderful melodies for computer games. Anyway, he was on Twitch, so I thought, well, if Mark's on Twitch, I need to get on there. So I went on Twitch, and I haven't got a clue how it works. I need so many I don't know. If you are a Twitch person, if you do have a Twitch, please Twitch me or whatever you have to do, because that will help me and enable me to do more of these kind of broadcasts. I do enjoy playing live. You see, I find making videos is great fun, but there's something about playing live. It's rather like feeling as though people are watching you. I've already played many of the tunes in this set today earlier on this afternoon out in one of the local markets. So they have a performance, they have a sort of marquee type thing set up, and they invite you to play. So I went and played an hour down there. So these are some of the tunes that I played today, which I must admit I quite enjoyed. Let me see. I know I will leave the gale off. Tamlin, yeah, I'm going to play that sometime. Yeah, I want to do another version of that, because that seems to have done very well. The one I did on YouTube, I got a bit excited and it kind of got a bit quick. The one I did on Spotify and all the other streaming channels, I put what is known as a click track in my ear. So I had these headphones on, and I can't use click tracks that you get from what they call a sequencing piece of software. It kind of sounds mechanical somehow. So I use a drum or a baran, and I've recorded the baran, and I set it, and I sort of just, if I hear a baran, it kind of makes more sense to me. Anyway, so if I do Tamlin, I think I might fancy doing that for another live stream like this. And I'll record that baran and then play that through my ears so I can keep the timing rock solid, because that's the kind of tune you can speed up on far too easily. And if you've ever been in a session and started playing a tune and you've started off too fast, and you get about a third of the way in and you're regretting it like crazy, thinking, oh, why on earth did I start that quickly? That's the kind of tune you do not want to start too fast, Tamlin. So anyway, I will have a go at that, perhaps on the next live stream. Rocky Road. Yeah, Rocky Road to Dublin. If anybody can sing along to that, great, well done, because it's a tricky one to sing that particular tune as well. Yeah, I've been going for about 1 hour 26 here, so I could probably do a shot of whiskey right now. I'm just thinking now what to finish off on. Yeah, we've hit quite a few nice tunes this evening. I think the LFT polka is one of my favourites. I played this the other night on a live stream, but I do like this tune so much. Yeah, if I the LFT polka. What's the story behind this? You probably, if you've heard the story before, I apologise. But basically, we were going through lockdown and we were getting loads of these lateral flow tests, and I got COVID like most people. I had the Omicron variant, so it wasn't too bad. It was no more than a cold, but I had to keep testing, and I kept testing every day for about 2.5 weeks, and I was desperate to get out of the house because you can't leave the house if you're on 2 red lines. But eventually I went to 1 red line. So I was so happy to be able to venture forth that I wrote this tune called the LFT polka, the low lateral flow test polka. So I'll play this for you now. It's lively, this one, by the way. So this will finish me off probably for the night. When it starts, there we are. the LFT polka, and I think that will probably finish me now for the evening. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined and watched this evening. I really appreciate your company. It's so nice to be playing to people watching at the same time, and it's been lovely to read your comments. If I've missed any out, I shall look through now and read through all of your comments to make sure that I can see exactly what you've written down there. And I notice there's been nothing nasty at all, which is very nice, thank you. And yeah, you're very welcome, by the way, Marcia. I'm glad you could join us for the back end as well. Yeah, so I know, thank you so much about that Tamlin recording on YouTube. So many people have said how much they enjoyed that one, and yeah, but it's a great tune, no doubt, no doubt. But anyway, you all take care, and it's lovely that you could join me this evening. In the UK, it's around about 10 to 9 in the evening now, so I shall probably shut down this rig and go and have a stiff drink, probably a beer. But there you go. Have fun with your fiddle playing. As I say, if you're a Twitcher, please join me on Twitch as well. Press that Twitch button. I don't fully understand Twitch, but if you're a YouTuber, thank you for supporting my channel, and take care. And I'll try and do more of these live streams if you are enjoying them, because I love doing them. And then you can hear all the mistakes at the same time. Thanks a lot. Take care, and I'm going to shut down now. Okay, bye-bye now.